Hey, tonight, 6 Investigates looks into decisions by the District Attorney's Office not to pursue charges that would revoke someone's probation. One of those cases involved Jason Lara, who police say killed 2 women in their apartment on Costores Road last month. Reina Rodriguez investigates.
It's important to note that while Jason Lara is charged with capital murder, he has not been convicted. But the Nueces County Probation Department asked the district attorney to revoke Lara's probation twice over 8 months, once last July and again in March. 2 months later, Lara was charged with murder. Now there are questions about whether inaction by the DA's office cost 2 women their lives.
It just raises all the red flags, and now 2 women are dead.
Those women, Micaela Sudel and Erica Larracuente, shot dead at the Windrush apartment complex on May 14.
It's sad because it clearly could have been avoided.
Police charged Jason Lara with 2 counts of capital murder. When we looked into Lara's past, we found he was already on probation. In court documents show he continuously violated conditions of that probation. Police also accused him of stealing a vehicle in May of last year and dragging the woman who tried to stop him. The DA has taken no action on that case yet.
With that aggravated robbery, you have to have an indictment. Because the indictment is what gets it into court so that it can be prosecuted as an aggravated robbery.
Jason Goss is a criminal defense attorney in San Antonio and a law professor at St. Mary's University.
The reason why you want to make sure that you're on top of those is because the people who are committing those types of offenses are going to be the people who are committing more violent offenses like capital murder.
Documents show Nueces County Probation Department filed a motion to revoke Lara's community supervision a month after the aggravated robbery, but the Nueces County District Attorney's Office didn't pursue it. In March, another motion was filed to revoke Lara's probation because he hadn't reported to his probation officer for 6 months. During this hearing, Judge Sandra Watts placed Lara on 0 tolerance, telling him if he failed to report to his probation officer, failed his drug tests, or failed to pay his fees, he would be sent to prison. That was just 2 months before Lara was arrested for capital murder.
Our district attorneys, our legal system has an obligation to the public to serve and protect.
William Scholl is in charge of the Nueces County Community Supervision and Corrections Department. He believes had the courts gone with their recommendation to revoke Lara's probation last July, this might have been avoided.
In the back of your mind, you probably think, well, if they would have went with our allegations and proved them up and the person would have been in prison, could these 2 lives have been saved? It's possible.
Scholl says it's their job to let the courts become aware of the violations. The state's job is to prove the violations.
At times they could do a better job at it, sure.
Our investigation revealing a dozen other instances in which the DA's office didn't pursue charges over the last 2 years, despite probation office filings to revoke. Some of those new cases involving domestic violence, arson, assault, forgery, and drunk driving.
You know, they're short-staffed. They're way behind because of COVID and because they inherited a large caseload, which they did. COVID didn't help. And I think one of the judges said it best was, it'll be years before they catch up.
Chris 6 News asked District Attorney Mark Gonzalez and First Assistant DA Angelica Hernandez for an on-camera interview, but they did not respond.
You need to focus on the most dangerous people first.
Goss says the backlog should never be resolved by letting go or not prosecuting the most violent in the community.
Violent crimes with victims should always be number 1 on the list and should never be let go because of COVID or anything else.
6 Investigates reached out to the DA's office repeatedly, asking them to explain their policy. They have not answered any of our questions. Reina Rodriguez, Chris 6 News.